So, uh, you know that feeling when you try to show someone you care, but it just feels
Mm.
like the message isn't quite getting through.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Maybe you give your mom this huge hug,
Yeah.
but what really makes her day is when you, I don't know, just load the dishwasher without being asked.
Right. Or a friend gets you that, like, super popular new video game.
Yeah.
But honestly, what you really wanted was just to hang out and play together for an afternoon.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit today. We're diving into why those, loving gestures sometimes just miss the mark.
Mm-hmm.
And the core idea here, really, is that people give and receive love in, well, fundamentally different ways. It's almost like we're all speaking slightly different languages, love languages.
The thing is, this isn't just some, like, abstract idea, you know? It has a real impact.
How so?
Well, the way you give affection and the way you best receive it, it directly affects how connected you actually feel in your relationships. It's like tuning a radio. You might be sending out a really strong signal, but if the receiver isn't tuned to your frequency, well, the message just doesn't come through clearly for them.
That's a great analogy. So these love languages,
Yeah.
you mentioned there are 5 main ones.
That's the framework, yeah. 5 main types.
Okay, so first is words of affirmation. Those are like compliments, encouragements, I appreciate you sort of thing.
Exactly. Words that build you up. Then there's quality time.
The focused attention one. No phones, just being present.
Precisely. Undivided attention. Third is receiving gifts.
The thoughtful presence, the things that show someone was thinking of you.
Yep. Tangible tokens of affection.
Yeah.
Then acts of service.
Doing things for someone, like the dishwasher example. Helping out.
Right. Actions that say, let me help lighten your load. And finally, physical touch.
Hugs, high fives, a hand on the shoulder.
Uh-huh.
That kind of connection.
Mm-hmm. All those nonverbal ways we connect physically.
Okay, so to really get into the nitty-gritty of this, for everyone listening, we're going to look at a family, the Millers. We've got Dad, Mom, Sarah, who's in 8th grade, and Tom, maybe around your age, 6th grade.
Right. So Tom's experiences might feel pretty familiar.
Yeah, and their starting point,
Yeah.
it was kind of this mystery of mixed signals, you could say.
And that mystery, that feeling of signals getting crossed, it's probably something a lot of us recognize, right, in our own families or friendships.
Oh,
Everyone's trying to show they care, but it just doesn't land right.
yeah, the effort's there, but the impact isn't.
Exactly. Your intention doesn't automatically mean the other person feels loved. That's the key thing to grasp.
Okay, let's dive into section 1 then, the mystery of mixed signals. Let's talk about some of the friction the Millers were feeling.
Okay.
So Dad, he worked really hard, provided well, and he often bought nice things for the family. For him, that was like crystal clear love.
Providing security, tangible things, that makes sense as a way to show care, maybe linked to gifts.
Right. But Mom, she often felt something was missing. She really craved his presence, just time to connect, talk, without distractions, quality time.
And that's a classic mismatch, isn't it? He's speaking gifts maybe through providing, she needs quality time.
Yeah,
So even though he's showing love his way, she might feel, well, emotionally distant because her core need isn't being met in those moments.
exactly. And it wasn't just the parents. Sarah, the older sister, she'd often tell Tom his drawings were amazing. You're so talented, words of affirmation.
Which might be her way of showing care.
Probably. But Tom, what he really, really wanted was for Sarah to actually sit down and draw with him.
So he needed the quality time, the shared activity, not just the praise.
Right. And then there's Tom himself. He's a big hugger, super affectionate kid.
Physical touch is his language.
Totally. He'd give Mom these huge, squishy hugs. But Mom, well, she was often busy. Multitasking, maybe in a work call.
Life happens.
Yeah. And she wouldn't always, melt into the hug the way Tom hoped. Maybe she'd give a quick squeeze and keep going.
So Tom might feel a bit brushed off, even though she wasn't intending that.
Exactly. He might feel like his love wasn't fully received right then. It's like everyone's heart was in the right place, but the messages were getting scrambled.
Different emotional frequencies, like we said.
So, okay, what happens when you do start to understand these differences? The Millers found some real benefits. First big one.
Yeah.
Just less confusion.
How so?
Well, Mom started to see Dad's gift giving differently, not as him being emotionally unavailable, but as, well, simply his primary way of showing he cared.
Reframing his actions. Instead of he doesn't care enough to spend time, it's he shows care by providing.
Right. It wasn't a lack of love, just a different dialect. And realizing that can be huge for anyone listening, right? Rethinking gestures in your own life.
It's a total game changer. You stop taking it personally, maybe. You see the intention behind the action, even if the action itself doesn't fill your love tank, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. Another benefit, better communication.
Yeah.
Once Sarah kind of got that thought, Tom wanted her presence, not just praise.
The quality time thing.
Yeah, she could actually talk to him about it. And then make an effort to, draw it out together sometimes or play a game.
So the understanding opens the door to actually talking about needs.
Definitely.
You can learn to say, hey, you know what really makes me feel loved? And you can also start recognizing when someone else is trying to show you love, even if it's not your usual style.
And maybe the biggest win for the Millers, stronger feelings of love overall.
Okay.
When Dad started consciously putting his phone away, really listening when Mom talked,
Yeah.
giving her that undivided attention.
Speaking her language.
Yes, she felt so much more connected to him, it made a massive difference. Think about how that might play out in your own relationships.
It's profound, isn't it? When someone makes the effort to love you in the way that truly resonates with you, you feel seen, validated,
Yeah.
cherished, really.
Yeah, it strengthens that bond.
Absolutely. That feeling of being truly loved is fundamental for our well-being.
What about the flip side? What are the risks if you don't understand these languages? The Millers hit some bumps there, too.
Which is also very common.
One big risk,
Yeah.
misunderstandings leading to hurt feelings. Like Mom genuinely feeling unloved sometimes because Dad's main expression was gifts when she craved connection.
And those feelings stack up, don't they? If your attempts to show love keep missing, or if you consistently feel like your needs aren't met, it erodes intimacy.
It does. You feel unseen, maybe unvalued.
Right. And that can build resentment over time.
Another risk, wasted effort. Think about Dad spending money on gifts, genuinely believing he was showing love.
Mm-hmm.
But if Mom's primary value was time, his efforts weren't having the intended positive impact. It's kind of inefficient, emotionally speaking.
That's a great way to put it. You're pouring energy into something you value, but if it's not what the other person needs, it can be frustrating for everyone.
Yeah. And all these little misfires, these cross signals,
Mm-hmm.
they can lead to relationship strain.
Yeah.
The Millers had those little arguments, those moments of tension,
Sure.
often stemming from feeling misunderstood about how love was being given or received. You probably recognize that dynamic too.
Definitely. It's like this low-level hum of discontent that can wear away at the connection if it's not addressed.
But through all this, the Millers learned some key lessons, lessons we can all use. First one, pretty basic but crucial. Everyone is unique in how they feel loved.
Foundational. There's no one-size-fits-all for feeling loved. Recognizing individual differences is step one.
Second lesson, actions speak, sure, but you got to understand what they mean to the other person. Dad's gifts were loving actions.
But Mom needed to understand the meaning behind them from his perspective, and he needed to understand her interpretation.
Exactly. It's about perspective taking.
Yes, interpretation is key. An act intended as loving can be totally misunderstood if it doesn't match the receiver's language. Communication bridges that gap.
And the third big lesson, if someone isn't showing love your way, it doesn't automatically mean they don't care.
Right, this fosters empathy.
Yeah. They might just be communicating in their own primary language. That can be kind of freeing, actually.
It encourages you to look beyond your own preferences, doesn't it? To consider that love is being expressed, just maybe in a form you don't immediately recognize.
Okay, that brings us nicely into section 2. Words can be powerful or not.
Ah, words of affirmation.
Right. We saw Sarah's compliments didn't quite land with Tom, who wanted shared activity. And sometimes Mom praising Dad's hard work. Well, it didn't seem to hit as hard as when she actually pitched in to help him with something.
It shows that the impact of words really depends on whether that's the listener's primary language, doesn't it?
Totally.
For some people, hearing those positive words is incredibly validating. For others, actions or time or touch might speak much louder.
But when words do land, when it is someone's language, the benefits are huge. Feeling seen, appreciated.
Absolutely.
Mom felt really good when Dad specifically thanked her for organizing his workbench. Just those specific words of gratitude made her feel valued.
That verbal acknowledgement validates effort, makes you feel recognized. It's powerful for those who need it.
And words can be super motivating, right? Like when Sarah genuinely encouraged Tom about the art contest, he felt this sudden boost of confidence. Our words can really lift people up.
Positive affirmations definitely build self-esteem. They give you that emotional push to try things, to believe in yourself.
And sometimes just clearly saying how you feel is the best way. Mom telling dad how much she enjoyed their walks together.
Direct and clear.
Yeah. It removed any doubt and just strengthened that shared positive feeling. Being direct can be really valuable.
Takes the guesswork out, doesn't it? Ensures your positive feelings are actually received and understood. Leaves less room for misinterpretation.
Okay, but words aren't always positive. There are risks too. One big one. Empty words.
Insincerity. Yeah.
Like if Sarah just mumbled, "good job," without really looking at Tom's drawing. It feels fake. It doesn't land. Authenticity matters.
You can usually tell when praise isn't genuine, can't you? And that can actually damage trust more than saying nothing. The feeling behind the words gives them power.
And the flip side, negative words can cut really deep, especially for someone whose primary language is words.
Oh, definitely.
If dad snapped at mom over something small, those harsh words could really stick with her, cause lasting hurt. It's a reminder of the weight our words carry.
For a words person, negative language can be incredibly damaging, creates real emotional wounds. So mindfulness in how we speak, especially when upset, is critical.
And then there's just missing the mark.
Mm-hmm.
Like dad maybe valuing mom's help on a project more than just her verbal praise about the project.
Right. Her words were kind, but they weren't addressing his need in that moment, which might have been more about acts of service.
So even positive words might not hit the bullseye if it's not the right language for that person or situation.
Exactly. It reinforces that need to understand the primary language to connect effectively.
So, key lessons about words the Millers learned. First, gotta be sincere. Mean what you say.
Authenticity is everything. Empty words don't build connection.
Second, not everyone values praise the same way. What's huge for one person might be minor for another. Requires observation.
Attunement to individual preferences. You have to know your audience, so to speak.
And third, listen to what's not being said sometimes. Mom mentioning feeling unnoticed was a clue.
A clue she needed more verbal acknowledgement.
Yeah, that she needed more direct appreciation. Sometimes the gaps speak volumes.
Paying attention to those unspoken needs, those hints, that's a big part of understanding someone's language and deepening the connection.
Okay, let's shift gears to section 3. Time together matters, but how?
Quality time.
Yeah, we saw dad could be home, but like mentally checked out, watching TV or on his phone.
Physically present, emotionally absent.
Exactly. And Sarah, just having Tom in her room while she texted friends, that didn't feel like quality time to him either.
Right. The crucial difference here is mere presence versus focused, intentional interaction. Quality time isn't just sharing space.
Is sharing attention.
Precisely. Creating that genuine connection through shared focus and experience.
And when that happens, the benefits are huge for people who value quality time. That undivided attention. It makes you feel important, valued. When dad finally put the phone down, turned off the TV, and just listened to mom.
Yeah.
She felt that closeness again.
That focused attention basically says, you are my priority right now. It creates a safe space for real sharing, and it definitely strengthens the bond.
Another big benefit. Creating shared memories. That family hike and picnic the Millers took. It became this positive thing they could all look back on, talk about. Those moments weave you together.
Shared experiences absolutely create that sense of us, that common ground. They become these touchstones in the relationship over time.
And even simple things, like Sarah making a no phone rule during board games with Tom.
Small change, big impact.
Yeah. It led to more talking, more connection. It doesn't always have to be some grand, planned outing.
Just removing those distractions allows for much more meaningful interaction, deeper conversation, fosters real understanding.
But again, risks, distractions, they can feel super disrespectful if quality time is your language.
Oh, yeah. The phone at the dinner table thing.
Totally. When dad checked his phone while mom was talking, she felt like he just wasn't invested. That hurts.
Divided attention sends a clear message, unfortunately. Something else is more important than you right now. And that can be deeply wounding for a quality time person.
And like we saw with Sarah and Tom, just being nearby isn't enough. Quantity doesn't equal quality here.
Right. It's the engagement that matters.
Yeah.
Physical proximity without real interaction doesn't fill that need for connection.
And cancel plans. Ouch. Especially if it's planned quality time. When dad had to bail on family movie night because of work, mom was genuinely disappointed. It felt like a rejection of that planned connection time.
It can definitely be interpreted as, I'm not a priority, leading to feelings of being disregarded, especially if it happens repeatedly.
So what did the Millers learn about making time count? First, and maybe biggest, put away the distractions.
Be present.
Yeah. Give the person you're with your full attention. It shows respect, it shows care.
Mental presence is just as important as physical presence for quality time. Signal that they have your focus.
They also found value in planning meaningful activities. Doesn't have to be fancy, right? Even just a regular weekly game night.
Intentionality, yeah.
Yeah.
Creating dedicated opportunities for connection makes the time feel special.
And maybe most importantly, just be present in the moment. Engage with the person with the activity. Don't be mentally elsewhere.
That mindful presence maximizes the connection, allows for real shared experience, real memories.
Okay, that takes us to section 4, presence and helping hands.
Gifts and acts of service. Two distinct ones, but related.
Right. We saw mom sometimes felt dad only showed love through buying things.
The gift.
Yeah. And Tom wanting help building the toy, not just getting the toy itself.
Needing that act of service, the help, more than the gift.
Exactly. It highlights these two languages. Both involve tangible things, but one's about the object, the other's about the action.
Right. Gifts are symbolic, I thought of you. Acts of service are practical, let me help you.
Let's look at gifts first. For someone whose language this is, a present can be a really powerful, tangible symbol of love. Like mom treasuring that anniversary stone from dad.
It's a physical reminder, isn't it? Something you can hold that represents care and affection.
And a well-chosen gift makes someone feel really known, right? Understood.
Totally.
Like Sarah's aunt giving her a sketchbook because she knew Sarah loved drawing that says, I pay attention to you. I care about your passions.
Those kinds of gifts show real attentiveness. Someone put thought into you specifically. That feels amazing.
And even simple gifts can make someone feel appreciated. Tom felt special when Grandma brought him his favorite cookies.
The act itself says, you're worth my time, my effort, my resources. It's a tangible expression of value.
But pitfalls here too. Big one. Focusing on price over thoughtfulness.
Materialism creeping in.
Yeah. If dad just bought expensive stuff without thinking about what mom actually liked or needed, less meaningful.
Definitely. A thoughtless gift, no matter how expensive, can feel impersonal. It misses the emotional mark.
And for a gifts person, forgetting important dates,
Yeah.
birthdays, anniversaries, that can really sting.
Oh, yeah. Dad learned to use his calendar.
Right. Remembering those occasions with a gift says, you and this relationship are important to me.
It shows effort and acknowledges the significance of those moments.
Also, gifts shouldn't be a substitute for other things, like presents. Dad buying Tom tons of toys didn't make up for not playing with him.
Right. They should enhance connection, not replace it. Relying only on gifts can feel transactional almost.
Okay, now acts of service, helping hands, big benefit here. Just feeling supported, cared for.
Like dad doing the dishes without being asked.
Exactly. Mom felt genuinely loved by that proactive help. It lightens the load.
It shows a willingness to contribute to your well-being, to make your life easier. That feels like real partnership.
And it eases burdens. Sarah helping Tom with homework freed him up. He really appreciated that practical support.
Taking on tasks that someone finds draining or difficult communicates value for their time and energy.
And these acts show real effort, real thoughtfulness. Dad helping with yard work, even though he didn't love it.
Going the extra mile.
Yeah, it spoke volumes about his care for mom and the shared home.
Actions like that, stepping outside your comfort zone for someone else, that's a powerful demonstration of love.
But risks here too. Doing something helpful, but like sighing and complaining the whole time.
Grudging service.
Like Sarah rolling her eyes while helping Tom. Kind of cancels out the good deed, doesn't it? Can even create resentment.
The spirit matters immensely. Help given out of obligation feels very different from help given freely out of care.
Also, got to be careful not to overdo it and create dependency. Mom made sure Dad was still empowered, even as he helped more. Need that balance.
Right. Supporting someone is different from taking over completely. Maintaining mutual contribution is healthier long-term.
And finally, if your helpful acts go completely unnoticed, that can be really discouraging.
Yeah, feeling unappreciated.
Dad felt good when Mom actually thanked him for fixing the faucet. Acknowledging the effort makes a difference.
Absolutely. Expressing gratitude reinforces the positive action, makes the effort feel seen and worthwhile, encourages more of it.
So, key lessons for gifts and service. Gifts need thought. Help is often best when proactive. And always appreciate the effort, whether it's a present or a helping hand.
Intentionality, proactivity, gratitude. Those seem key for both these languages.
Okay, last language. Section 5. Hugs and high fives. Physical touch.
A very direct, non-verbal one.
We saw Tom's big hugs weren't always welcomed, right? By busy mom or maybe space-preferring Sarah. Shows the challenges.
Yeah, it's powerful, but very dependent on personal comfort levels and context. What feels connecting to one person can feel intrusive to another.
But when it is welcomed, the benefits are deep, feeling connected, safe.
Like Tom feeling secure with mom's warm hugs.
Exactly. Touch releases those feel-good chemicals,
Yeah,
right?
you're
Promotes
right.
bonding,
It's a very primal way of feeling safe and cared for, builds intimacy.
and it offers comfort. Dad's hug when Tom scraped his knee. Huge reassurance.
In times of distress, physical touch can communicate empathy and support, sometimes better than words can. It says, I'm here.
And even small touches. Dad's pat on the back after a good test score expresses pride without words.
Subtle touches can reinforce positive moments, convey encouragement non-verbally.
But risks are very real here. Most obviously, unwanted touch.
Huge boundary issue.
Sarah pulling away from Tom's surprise hugs showed that. Unwanted touch feels uncomfortable, intrusive, even violating.
Respecting personal space and boundaries around touch is absolutely crucial. Violating that erodes trust fast.
And people just have different comfort levels. Sarah may be preferring a high five sometimes. We have to respect that.
Preferences vary widely. Being attuned to individual differences is key. What feels good to one person doesn't automatically feel good to another.
Also, if touch is your only way of showing love, you might miss other cues. Tom eventually saw Sarah showed care by helping find his lost stuff, an act of service.
Right. Need to be open to recognizing love in all its forms, not just your preferred one. A balanced perspective helps.
So, lessons about touch. Pay attention to body language. Big one.
Read the room or read the person.
Yeah. Notice how people react. Tom learned when Sarah was open to a hug versus when she needed space.
Observing those nonverbal cues allows for much more sensitive, respectful interactions.
Asking permission is good too. Tom started asking hug. Simple, but respectful.
Seeking consent demonstrates respect for autonomy and boundaries, builds trust and safety.
And finally, just respect boundaries overall. Mom liked quick hugs when busy, longer ones when relaxing. Understanding those nuances matters.
Honoring individual preferences around closeness fosters trust and security, shows you value their comfort.
Okay, bringing it all together. Section 6, the family's aha moment.
The integration phase?
Yeah. After consciously trying to speak each other's languages, the Millers saw real positive shifts. Wasn't perfect, obviously. Missteps still happened.
Which is realistic, right? It's a learning process, takes ongoing effort and communication.
Absolutely. But the benefits were clear. Stronger family bonds, overall. Mom feeling genuinely happier because Dad was making that quality time effort.
When people consistently feel loved in their primary way, it deepens that sense of belonging, of being truly seen and valued within the family or any relationship.
Less conflict, too. More understanding. Mom valuing that weekend getaway. Dad planned quality time way more than jewelry.
Because it showed he understood what truly mattered to her.
Exactly. That alignment reduces misunderstandings, builds harmony,
Definitely leads to more fulfilling relationships when you feel truly understood.
and the whole home environment just felt better, happier. Tom feeling loved when Sarah read bedtime stories, quality time again, even though she wasn't a huge hugger.
When everyone feels their love tank is being filled, it naturally creates a more positive, supportive atmosphere for everyone. Boosts well-being.
But yeah, still bumps. Risks in the process itself, like forgetting.
Slipping back into old habits.
Yeah, Dad sometimes defaulted back to gifts when Mom really needed time. It happens.
Old patterns are hard to break. Takes conscious, consistent effort to remember and apply the preferences of others.
And the risk of expecting perfection. They had to learn it's a journey, mistakes happen, you can't get it right 100% of the time.
Patience and grace are important
Yeah.
for yourself and for others. It's about the commitment to learning and adapting, not instant mastery.
And crucially, not using it as an excuse.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's not my love language, so I don't have to do it.
Right. That's a misuse of the concept.
Everyone still needs to show effort and care somehow. It's about how you show it effectively, not if.
Exactly. It should enhance care, not replace the fundamental need for effort and intention in relationships.
So the big lessons from putting it all together: keep communicating, regular check-ins about feeling loved.
Ongoing dialogue is vital. Needs change, situations change. Keep talking about it.
Small efforts make a big difference. Sarah's little notes for Tom John's words of affirmation had a huge impact. Consistency matters.
Small, target gestures in the right language often mean more than grand gestures in the wrong one. Consistency builds security.
And finally, it's a journey, not a destination. an ongoing process of learning and growth within the relationship.
Relationships evolve. This framework provides tools for navigating that growth. It's dynamic, not static.
Okay, final section 7. Love languages beyond family and for life success. Because this isn't just for home, is it?
Not at all. These principles apply everywhere. Friendships, work, teams, community.
The Millers started seeing that. Sarah used to get annoyed when friends didn't react to gifts the way she expected. But then she realized maybe one friend values a thoughtful note more. Another just wants to hang out at the skate park, quality time.
Understanding that different friends have different languages builds empathy, strengthens those friendships. You can tailor your care.
Tom noticed it on his teams. Some kids needed that high five after a good play touch.
Yeah.
Others needed specific praise from the coach words. Knowing that helped the team connect better.
Applying it in team settings absolutely boosts communication, motivation, cohesion. People feel valued in ways meaningful to them. Makes the whole team stronger.
And overall, it just boosted the Millers' empathy. Helped them see things from other viewpoints, understand different needs better.
That increased empathy is a huge life skill, isn't it? Improves all interpersonal interactions, fosters connection across the board.
But again, some final cautions or risks when applying this broadly, like stereotyping.
Assuming someone's language without really knowing, yeah, dangerous.
You can't just guess based on gender or personality type or whatever. You need to observe, listen.
Absolutely. Avoid assumptions. Get to know the individual. Direct observation and communication are key.
Another risk, manipulation. Using this knowledge to control someone, not connect.
That's an ethical misuse. The goal must always be genuine connection, mutual respect, making others feel valued, not controlling them.
You're remembering it's just one piece of the puzzle. It doesn't fix everything.
Crucial point. It's a valuable tool, but healthy relationships also need good communication, respect, shared values, conflict resolution skills, the whole package.
So, final lessons for applying this everywhere. Be observant in all relationships. Notice how people give and receive care.
Cultivate that awareness beyond your inner circle. Enhances connection everywhere.
Flexibility is key. Adapt your approach based on the person and situation. One size rarely fits all.
Willingness to step outside your comfort zone to speak someone else's language shows real care. Adaptability strengthens relationships.
And maybe the most important thing, focus on genuine connection. Let your actions and words come from authentic care and kindness.
Sincerity is the foundation. Love languages are tools to express that genuine care more effectively, more meaningfully.
So, yeah, just like there are different ways to score points in a game, there are all these different ways to show and feel love. Learning these languages, it really transformed things for the Millers, not just at home, but everywhere.
It's a powerful shift in perspective. Understanding that variety in how love is expressed and received, it truly enhances connection and success in all interactions.
Understanding and applying it thoughtfully, it can be genuinely transformative. Deeper connections, fewer misunderstandings, more harmony.
More fulfilling relationships across the board, it really impacts overall happiness and success.
So, on that note, here's something for everyone listening to chew on. Think about the important people in your life right now. Family, friends, maybe teammates or colleagues. How do they usually show you they care? What are their go-to methods? And then flip it. What makes you feel most loved? What actions, words, gestures really fill your tank?
Knowing both sides is powerful.
Definitely. And then the final question, how could you maybe start speaking your language just a little more often, a little more fluently starting today? It's a really fascinating and honestly deeply rewarding thing to explore in your own life. So, you know that feeling when you try to show someone you care, but it just feels like the message isn't quite getting through.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Maybe you give your mom this huge hug, right?
Yeah.
But what really makes her day is when you, I don't know, just load the dishwasher without being asked.
Right. Or a friend gets you that, like, super popular new video game.
Yeah.
But honestly, what you really wanted was just to hang out and play together for an afternoon.
Exactly. Okay, so let's unpack this a bit today. We're diving into why those, loving gestures sometimes just miss the mark. And the core idea here, really, is that people give and receive love in, well, fundamentally different ways. It's almost like we're all speaking slightly different languages, love languages.
The thing is, this isn't just some, like, abstract idea, It has a real impact.
How so?
Well, the way you give affection and the way you best receive it, it directly affects how connected you actually feel in your relationships. It's like tuning a radio. You might be sending out a really strong signal, but if the receiver isn't tuned to your frequency, Well, the message just doesn't come through clearly for them.
That's a great analogy. So these love languages,
Yeah.
you mentioned there are 5 main ones.
That's the framework, yeah. 5 main types.
Okay, so first is words of affirmation. Those are like compliments, encouragements, I appreciate you sort of thing.
Exactly. Words that build you up. Then there's quality time.
The focused attention one. No phones, just being present.
Precisely. Undivided attention. Third is receiving gifts.
The thoughtful presence, the things that show someone was thinking of you.
Yep. Tangible tokens of affection.
Yeah.
Then acts of service.
Doing things for someone, like the dishwasher example, helping out.